Hey guys, this is Tranquil Flow with EmpireDEX. Just got a video today where I'll be talking about our liquidity generation events, otherwise known as our LGEs. These are basically our trustless pre-sales that we run to launch the initial liquidity for our DEX tokens. I'll be talking a little bit more about what they are, how they compare to a pre-sale, how you can enter an LGE and what you're going to be getting out of an LGE, and just talking general strategy about an LGE and what's right for you basically. So we'll get into it. So what is an LGE? Well, we have here a comparison with the pre-sale versus the LGE. So in a pre-sale, this is you, the user. You give the developers your coin. So that is, like, for example, BNB, Fantom, AVAX, whatever. You give them the native coin for whatever blockchain you're on. The developers, they use that to make liquidity. So this is an example, they're using DEX as an example token they're launching. So they use some of your coin, some of the DEX to create the liquidity tokens. They lock the liquidity tokens in a time lock contract. And that's so that people, that's basically preventing the rug pull, which is when a developer takes all the liquidity back out and it means that nobody can trade. It's one of the most common scams, as I'm sure most of you know. So, pre-sale. So you deposit coin, and in output, you receive DEX. And obviously the DEX tokens also go to, the team or marketing wallet or whatever. In LGE, the user, so this is the dev, we deploy our DEX contract, and then the user adds coin to this contract, and then that's used to create the liquidity tokens, and the user actually gets the LP tokens in this instance. And then, some of the other DEX tokens would go to like team, marketing, all that stuff. So the LGE, basically, it's trustless. So the devs don't actually have control over the user's fund at any point. There's just no way for them to call the contract to, withdraw their user funds. So we generally prefer this model because it's a fair launch. There's, no tiers of pre-sales or anything. It's just you put in your tokens, your coins, and you get liquidity tokens. And so that is one of obviously the big differences, is that LGE, you're primarily getting LP tokens, whereas with pre-sale, you normally just get the underlying token itself. So, trade-off are coming in. You input coin, you receive DEX coin LP. So in our LGEs, those are permanently locked. These LPs, they are tradable though on a secondary market. So for example, let's just use this example for Kronos. So you would input Cro, and in return you would get your CroDEX / Cro LP. And you also do get a small amount of CroDEX as well, just because those are the bonus tokens we give out to the LG participants. And basically, the reason why it is permanently locked is to allow functionality for weaponized liquidity. I will have some links to videos explaining that in the comments or the section, whatever. So the price of the DEX token. So when we launch our token, we have 10,000 tokens. 5,000 of them go into liquidity. So you take the total amount raised in the LGE and you divide it by 5,000, because that's... So you think about all the tokens that got put into the LGE get combined with 5,000 tokens, and price on a AMM is basically just a calculation between those two numbers. So yeah, that's how you get your DEX price. So some more details. Like I said, we have 10,000 tokens initially, and there's no more minted after that for our DEX tokens. So, 10,000 Empire, 10,000 FDEX, 10,000 ADEX, 10,000 XDEX, etc., etc. So, like I said, 50% into liquidity. It's actually 22,750. This just rounded up. And so these are for the staking pools. So these are basically to encourage liquidity. We have a series of different liquidity pools. So if you wanted to provide your DEX tokens, your LP tokens, you'll be able to earn a bit of DEX tokens over a period of around a year to year and a half. And so we have different farms set up, so we've got Prism farms, we've got Bitcoin to the coin, Bitcoin BNB, for example, Ethereum BNB, that sort of thing. It depends on every network. And then we have 10%, and that is for the snapshot. So basically, the holders of Empire on BSC, they actually get locked in for a snapshot every time we have an LGE. And these are vested for 6 months, but after that, you'll be able to claim effectively 10% of whatever Empire you hold. We have 10% allocated for the team. That's for individual members who contributed to the LGE and the project, as well as we have a sum set aside for marketing, partnerships, that sort of thing. And then we have the LGE bonus, which is 250 tokens distributed to all the participants of the LGE. So when you get an LGE, you basically get some DEX, very, very small amount, 250 divided by everyone that entered, but you'll primarily be getting your DEX coin LP. So let's compare the two. So basically, the real value in the project is with these locked liquidity tokens, because the weaponized liquidity allows us to do so much. And we want to reward those people that contribute to this locked liquidity. So basically, with your DEX coin LP, you can stake it to earn more DEX. You can, that's in those liquidity pools that I mentioned that run for a year and a half. You can stake it to earn coin. So when we do those sweeps with weaponized liquidity, we'll allocate a little bit of that to basically the people that hold DEX coin LP. So you'll be able to stake and earn DEX, stake to earn the native coin for the blockchain you're on. And then one of the big features really is the stablecoin vault. So basically 0.05% of all trades on that network's EmpireDEX go to DEX coin LP holders. And so the best place to get your DEX coin, your liquidity tokens, your locked liquidity tokens, is in the LGE, because in the LGE, you're only contributing one half. We supply the other half. So it's effectively like a half price LP tokens. And yeah, like I said, it's the weaponized liquidity with this one. Now, the underlying DEX token in the DEX coin LPs, it's future governance token. So down the line, when we have Prism Chain, we'll basically be turning these DEX tokens into governance tokens, and they'll have governance rights over various parts of that network's EmpireDEX. And most likely they'll also have governance right over the weaponized liquidity as well, which powerful tool. Give it to the community, do whatever you guys want. That's the governance structure. Obviously, when nothing's set in place, Prism Chain is still over like a year away, probably, or not, hopefully less than a year at this point, but we're looking for 2022. So for the DEX tokens, if you just want to get these, because just so you guys know, that it's this which has the real value, because you're earning from the stablecoin vault, you're earning more DEX tokens, and you're earning the native coin for that blockchain. But obviously, to make this, you need DEX. So you can kind of speculate on this if you want, and so because if you believe the DEX tokens will go up in value, then you can hold these and then combine them with LP later. With the native coin for that blockchain to make the LP at a later date. So if you want to just get these DEX tokens, though, the best time to do it is on launch. And why is that? Well, if we go back at launch, who's going to dump on you? This can't dump on you. It's all locked liquidity. This is, in staking pools distributed over a year and a half. Snapshot is vested for 6 months. Team also vested for 6 months. So really, all you really got is the LGE bonus. So that's 250 tokens out of the 10,000 token supply that are even available to sell once we launch. So if you're looking for DEX tokens, buying on launch is, it's obviously there's no guarantees, but it's very difficult to lose money there because there's no one to dump on you, and so the price can only really go up from there. So the airdrop that I mentioned. So if you hold Empire on the Binance Smart Chain during the LGE, you are then taken into a snapshot, and then after 6 months, you'll be able to claim your DEX tokens on whatever chain was doing the LGE. So, and that's basically 1/10 of whatever you hold in Empire, you will be able to claim in the 6 months time. So just say you hold Empire, you have 100 Empire, and then we do the Fantom LGE, which has already happened. You're locked in for 10 FDEX after 6 months. And then we do another LGE for Avalanche, and then you've got 10 ADEX in 6 months, etc., etc. And so I will then go, here we go. So I'm just going to show you guys how to actually join an LGE. So this is our LGE page, and obviously it has the warning that this is permanently locked liquidity. So this is for the price floor and a weaponized liquidity mechanic. You can click here to go to our docs, which has more information about EmpireDEX as a whole. And so what you need to do is go up to the top. You want to select the chain for whatever LGE you are going into. So we're going into Kronos for this example. We're going to connect. Yep. And then I'm going to enter 200 Crow, and you hit enter LGE, you'll get the pop-up. Just hit confirm. Your transaction will go through. You can see here I've already contributed 45 Crow, and then this will pop up to 245 once the confirmation is done. You can also see there we go. You can see the total contributions, and you can see the time remaining. Just a note with the time remaining that actually there's no inherent benefit of getting in early. It's just so you can lock it in. So often we do see on the final day that the LGEs, that's when they'll see the most contributions. Just be aware, for example, we have the EmpireDEX LGE ongoing. This is on the Ethereum main chain. Something to notice there is that obviously gas is pretty high at the moment, and so you just want to strategically, if you want to get into the EmpireDEX LGE, time that around gas. But for the others, you know, do what you want, enter when you want, and yeah, that's basically it, guys. I'll be continuing to make some more video content. I've got a bunch more things I want to get out, and yeah, I'm really excited for where we're going with this. And thanks for watching the video. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, hit us up. We love feedback. Until next time, cheers, guys. Take care.